So today is day 3 of my 30-day meditation challenge. I'm going to do another 20-minute meditation today. Today I have really been hesitating and resisting about actually sitting down and meditating. And I feel aware of some of the reasons why. For example, I woke up this morning and my hip and my leg were just screaming. I've been having problems with my hip and my leg, and I've been exploring those things through yoga, the problems, the pain, incredible lack of flexibility. And so I spent some time this morning doing yoga and exploring into those spaces where the pain is. And so I'm feeling better from that, but it's still bothering me. And something about that has just been making me not want to meditate, probably because that pain is attached to some emotional stuff inside, and I don't want to sit down to meditate to have that come up. But I'm sitting down because I feel accountable. That's why I'm making these videos, is to be accountable and to have an extra thing to motivate me to do this on the days when I don't want to do it. So yeah, today's 20 minutes. I'm gonna film it with a time lapse. I like that time lapse because you don't have to sit through the whole 20 minutes with me, but you can see that I'm doing it, and you can see whatever movements I'm making, and you might notice like if I'm like breathing in my belly or not. So yeah, time lapse is good. 20 minutes, and yeah, let's see how it goes today. I'm kind of having a feeling. All right. So that 20 minutes was not as, it wasn't as painful in terms of difficulty and having to fight my tendency to start thinking. And fighting my tendency to start thinking doesn't ever help anyway. But I did work on trying to notice what was going on. And so when I first started to meditate, a lot of the time when I meditate these days, I close my eyes when I'm meditating, and that has advantages and disadvantages. One advantage is, it's kind of comfy and dark, and there's a certain peace in that. One of the the teachers that I've studied with a bit had recommended when you're meditating to, let your eyes open a little bit, and had talked about statues of the Buddha meditating. You'd see that sort of, kind of heavy-lidded look on the Buddha, and that's because he's meditating with his eyes open a little bit. And so you're supposed to fix your eyes on, like, a point kind of close to you, maybe on the ground. So I thought I would try that today, and I started to, but I'm having allergies, so opening my eyes a little bit just felt like I had a lot of sand in my eyes, so that was making me focus on my eyes. So I just closed my eyes and was just feeling like, okay, I don't want that as a distraction. So while I was meditating, I started out doing a body scan because, like I said, I was resisting meditating because I was having physical discomfort today. So I decided to just make that part of my meditation and just pay attention to that along with everything else. And so when I closed my eyes and I started trying to settle into everything, I was doing a body scan, and I became very aware that I was having trouble breathing. I was trying to take breath into my belly and just expand my belly, and it was feeling like tight. And so I started paying attention to my breath and trying different things with my breathing to see if there was a way to breathe that would feel easier. And nope, it wasn't. So I just decided to let that go and just keep breathing in my belly the best I could, and do another body scan, which I did. And I was paying a lot of attention to stuff that was going on in my leg and my hip and my back, and things that feel tight. Also just feeling very aware, and this happens almost every time I meditate now, like how the shoulder is just like kind of curled forward. And so noticing that and just like taking a breath and just kind of like reseating my shoulder blade, and feeling that's effect on some of the stuff going on in my back, and continuing to breathe and sitting with that for a while, seeing how it felt, trying to kind of tune in to maybe some of the sounds going on outside. And this might sound like it's all, oh, well, maybe it's very successful, but I was thinking about things on and off while I was doing this. Like noticing certain things and thinking about, oh, I want to remember to say something about that on the video, which is not useful for me, because I think just saying whatever is occurring to me right now to say is, if there's going to be any use to anybody besides myself, that's just the way for me to do it. So I was falling into thought or attaching to thought here and there, but not for too long, recognizing that's what I was doing and bringing it back to an awareness of the sounds outside, or you know, trying to gently pay attention to my breathing. And after a while, I did notice that you know, my back and my hip were not feeling really tight, and they weren't sending me a lot of messages. So I just kept scanning my body, just kind of starting at my feet and moving up and just paying attention to sensations and what's going on. And I became aware after a while that I was breathing a lot more deeply, and the breathing was going well, or I was breathing more, anyway. So so I was noticing all that, and I was also asking a question. I was trying to figure out, like, what does this stuff need? You know, what does my hip, what does my back need? And I got some replies to that question. So I've just got to put that in my hopper and figure out how I want to, you know, address the answers that I got. There's you know, there's nothing mystical about what I'm doing. There's you know, I'm not seeking like enlightenment. I'm just trying to enter into a relationship with myself and my body and the world that is present and allows me to just really experience my life. Because when I'm spending so much of my time thinking all the time and you know, living in the past or living in the future, I'm not living now. I'm not living. I'm fantasizing, or I'm you know, banging the drum of my feelings, and I'm not doing now. So I'm paying attention, and when I do that, like when I pay attention to my body and I ask a question, I get answers, and there's nothing woo-woo about it. It's just that's what happens if you pay attention. So anyway, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be, but yeah, it had some suckage today, and that's just the way it was. But yeah, you know, being present to my body, I got some valuable information. So yay. And tomorrow's day 4, and I'm going to bump up the meditation time by a minute, because I'm gonna go from 20 to 30 minutes over the 30 days. So that's 10 minutes divided by 30 days. So every 3 days, I'm just gonna bump it up another minute, and that's it. So thanks. Bye.